Welcome everyone. My name is Katie Gleboff and I'm a trainer with RPR. And I'm going to be presenting you today with a webinar hosted by the North San Diego County Realtors. This is actually the second commercial webinar that we're delivering to all of you out there in San Diego. And I am going to share with you today our ScriptWriter and AI tools within RPR. We're also going to take a look at our site selection tools that are available as well. This webinar is being recorded, so you guys will be able to go to the North San Diego County Realtors and obtain a copy of this. I'm going to go ahead really quick and just pop open my PowerPoint and my share so you guys are able to see my screen. I don't know if you guys have the ability to mute or unmute yourselves. So if you have any questions at any time, please feel free to type your questions into the chat or into the Q&A panel, and I'll be able to read and respond to those as we go through the presentation today. So we're going to take a look at exploring some advanced commercial tools within RPR. We always do a little bit of background on what is RPR. Realtors Property Resource is the nation's largest parcel-centric database for residential and commercial properties. We do have for each property public record information, as well as our overlay of residential as well as commercial listing information. This is built exclusively for real estate professionals. If you're a member of NAR or a realtor, it is included in your dues and available to you at no additional cost. And although our tool is available through our mobile app as well as our desktop, we do not share this information with consumers. So we don't syndicate, we don't have a consumer search engine. And before we jump into our goals today, I do want to take a little bit of time to talk about the RPR commercial data, just so it gives you a little bit of insight. Our commercial data, we have over 56 million commercial properties within RPR. These are off-market or just commercial properties that have a tax ID number across the US. And then through our commercial partnerships, we have almost 900,000 active and lease properties that are available, and you commercial practitioners have access to those on-market properties from coast to coast. So let's take a minute and talk about some of those data partners. So our property information that's available for sale or for lease comes in from the commercial MLS feeds and commercial information exchanges, as well as Crexi, Brevitas, Office Space, By Proxy, ICSC, Total Commercial, Moody's, and Land Broker. And then our public record information comes from our data aggregator, ICE, and then our site selection is powered by Esri. And you'll see that we have layers of information, which includes points and places of interest, traffic counts, tenant data, environmental risk reports, as well as financial analyses. So those are all of the things that you can have access to within RPR. Now, hopefully in today's presentation, I'll be able to share my mobile screen with you all, and you'll be able to go in and view the trade area data through RPR Mobile. use the AI tools within our mobile app where you have access to on and off market commercial information. You have access to customizable reports that you can share and text, and it's all based off of location-based services. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at our agenda today. So we want to take a look at our site selection tools. We'll take a look at CompStack for researching data. And then we're also going to take a look at our not our site selection, at our ScriptWriter tools. Our ScriptWriter tools are really going to be the focus of this custom webinar today. So we're going to go ahead and jump into RPR and take a look. Now I'm going to go ahead and transition my home screen into the RPR homepage. Now I'm in under just a demo account for all of you. This is set to a commercial property search. So if you've used RPR before, we have our toggle, which is the residential property search or commercial. So if I make sure this little radio button is set to commercial, we can go ahead and run a commercial property search. And I always like to run a search really quickly in any commercial class that I do. And we are going to search San Diego. So I'm just going to come into my location and I'm going to go ahead and just type San Diego, California. And then we do have our type or status, which is for sale or for lease. And then we have our active, under contract, sold. We have our property type, which is commercial, healthcare, hotel, motel, industrial, multifamily, land, office, restaurant, bar, retail, shopping center, or special purpose. So I'm going to come in and let's just say I'm looking for either industrial or land. We do have a price field, so I'm going to go ahead and set a max purchase price of $800,000. And then I'm looking for anywhere from, let's say, a half to 1 acre. Okay. And then if I scroll down a little bit more, you will see over here to the lower right-hand side, we have popular keywords. And I really relate these popular keywords to property subtypes. If you're looking for a car wash, a business opportunity, a barbershop or salon, a daycare center, a gas station, an RV park, storage facility, right? Maybe I'm looking for storage. I can come in and add the word storage, and it's going to look for properties that have that noted somewhere in the property detail of the commercial information. Now, I went ahead and ran my search. I'm going to give it just a minute to retrieve those results. Sometimes when you apply that keyword, it does take just a moment. But I do see it's retrieving results. And it says no property. So I'm going to go to my filters and I'm going to remove the storage and update. Now it could be my price point. I am in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. So my guess is that my price point is probably a little low for commercial properties that are around you guys. So I'm going to come in and then I do see I have an active listing I'm going to come in and just save this as a favorite, which goes into my work and it goes into my saved properties. But for now, I'm going to come in and view the full details of this property on Atlas Street. Right off the bat, we do see the lot that they are referencing that is available. We do see the list price for the property. I see the basic facts. I do have a property description for the property. I have public record and listing facts. I have property features. I have tenant data. I have owner facts, legal description, listing information. And if I scroll up, I do see that this property is coming in from Crexy. And if I scroll up even more, I do have a map location that I can click on. One thing I really do like about the map location, if I have a question about this Atlas Street and I want to know how many travelers per day are on that road, I can go to my map location. I can select my driving and I can click on my traffic counts. And then I can come in and see that the average daily drivers for this cross street here is going to be about 6,000 drivers per day. So I do like that you're able to come in and see what's going on with those traffic counts. Now, to collapse this map, I can go to the blue bar along the top, and I'm going to just click back to my property information. And then from the property information, I want to point out, now this is available on any commercial property, whether we are looking at actively listed properties or we are just looking at parcel information. So right now we're looking at an active for sale property. And under our property info, we have map location. And then the next on that blue menu bar is the trade area. And I'm going to select that trade area. And it does come in and give us the attributes for San Diego, California. Now, I'm going to share with you in just a minute, or I should say in a couple minutes, how you can drill this content down. But our trade area information is going to give us both demographic data and what we call consumer segmentation. So we have our median household income, 50% higher, 50% lower, population, median age, this is measured every 5 years. And then we have dominant segment is metro renters. We have under our demographic facts and stats, our population attributes. This could be total population, daytime population, growth, household size. Okay, are all included. We have our age demographics, median age, population, age. We have what I call household. We have income demographics, education, economy, commute times, and residential housing values. So that's really what we determine as demographic data. And a lot of our demographic data comes from ESRI or the US Census information. And you can come in and on any of the metrics, hover and click on these little information icons, and we're going to tell you how we gather that data and how often we update it. So that's our demographic data, US Census information. Then we have our consumer segmentation just below that. And this is the lifestyle and stages of life in the consumer market. This market area is divided up into 5 dominant segments. Now, the life mode for this area are laptops and lattes, metro renters, and trendsetters. They share demographic traits. And then we have our urbanization, young population, dense neighborhoods, common cost of living, overcrowding. They want access to urban amenities and jobs. And then it's going to go through and look at the market area. And based off of the number of households, it's going to separate them out into segments. So we have metro renters. 7.6% are enterprising professionals. 6.2 are Emerald City. Then we have urban villages and trendsetters. Now, these are kind of silly little names that come from Esri. And if you were to create a consumer trade area report, these are really defined out. But in the consumer segment, you are going to see the number of households under each segment, the residence type, the size, the age, the net worth, the percentage of home ownership, the employment, the education, preferred activities, right? Socializing is important for the dominant segment. They participate in yogas, Pilates, and skiing. The next enjoy travel. They eat organic foods. What their financial score is, right? How they absorb media and technology, the types of cars that they drive. And you can come into RPR and take this data and create a report. Now, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to create a trade area template. And this is going to be this is now in our report manager, where we're going to go in and customize the content that we want in our report. So we are going to get the trade area summary, which is going to give you household, median age, total population, dominant consumer segment, and then our consumer segmentation. Then it's going to go through and really break down who they are, what their socioeconomic traits are, and what their market profile is. We will go through population. Now, if you want to take the demographic data off of the report, right? Maybe all you want to see is the consumer segmentation. You can come in and remove all of the demographic. Well, I'm going to keep the employment. I really don't want commute times or home values. But I do want traffic counts. I like my traffic counts. And then you can share this report. You can create a dynamic link. You can email it out, and you can share it to social as well. Now, if you've customized this report and you want to save it just as the consumer info, you can go to the share at the top, and I'm going to select Save Template, and this is um, my consumer profile. Oops. So now if I want to create this report for another market area or for a smaller area, I have the ability to do that. So you can, anytime you're looking at a property, you do have the ability to pull that trade area data. And I'm going to go back to the map location, and you will see some off-market commercial properties pop up. And this is a multifamily property. So I'm just going to pop this one open so you can see. This is a public record property. It's not actively listed for sale, but I have right here a trade area report where I can, again, go in and look at that consumer segmentation for that particular trade area for the zip code that the property is located in. Now, when you are looking, I'm going to go back to my home page, and I'm going to go to my work. I'm going to go to my saved properties, and here's that saved property that we were looking at before. So I have it pulled up. And from our saved property, again, we do have our interactive map. I'm going to go back to our trade area data. And then you're going to see for the trade area data, I have my create script. So I can create my report, and I can also come in from the property detail and create a script. The script is going to pull attributes from the demographic data and the consumer segmentation data to draft content. So I'm going to go ahead and open up our ScriptWriter tool. And you're going to see we do have our tone, where I can come in and say, what tone do I want? Professional, conversational, friendly, confident, encouraging, direct, bold. So we have those different tones that you can look at. And then once you choose your tone, I'm going to do confident. You can choose your audience type. And then we have investors, developers, tenants and business owners, landlords and property owners, retail chains, property managers, economic development agencies, city planners, chamber of commerce, industry or media, and then we have social media and digital marketing audiences. So you can choose your audience type, and let's say I am looking to develop something on this site, and I have to deliver something to a economic development agency, right? Or the Chamber of Commerce. So I'm going to come into Old City Planner, and then we can include everything, or take out certain components if we want to. And then we can do a single page summary. We can do a detailed report. I'm going to go ahead and do a detailed report. We can do a presentation, or we can do a client email. And then I'm going to go ahead and select generate. And it's going to go ahead and draft it. All right. So then we're going to see our executive summary. We're going to have a little overview of the demographic and lifestyle. We're going to see a little bit on population trends, economic conditions, housing market, and then it's going to wrap up with my contact info. And then you do have the ability to copy the text. You can export it to PDF. You can export it to Word, or you can share by email. So that is available to you as well. Now, if I go to the home page, you guys are able to add your market areas into RPR. And these can be cities. I'm going to come into edit and we'll add Chula Vista. And I'm just going to hit save. I'm going to go back to the home page. So I just hit that add button and I can come in here and it's just going to load the new within the last 10 days for sale, for lease, pending properties. And I can come in and select these properties and see what's going on with this property info. Now, if I wanted to email this information out, or let's say this was my listing and I wanted to market this, I'm going to come in and view the full details. Let's say I really quick wanted to create a social post. I can come into RPR and pull up this particular property. And then I'm going to go to the trade area. I'm going to select create script. I want my tone to be encouraging. And then I'm going to do social media. Okay. And then again, I can choose what I want. And I'll do a quick summary for social. I like to include everything, but let's just say we are going to take out income. I can just uncheck that and generate. And it's going to go ahead and create the script. And then I can pick or summarize this. And then I have really quick points that I can use this for. And I can copy, export to Word, or share by email. Now, if there is, I'm just going to come over here because I'm not all that familiar with the San Diego market. So I'm going to write down this zip code 91951. I can also come in and from the RPR homepage, I can go to research And under research, you are going to see commercial trade areas. And right from the drop down, if I wanted to see the consumer segmentation for a certain city, a county, or a zip code, I can come in and look at that consumer segmentation data for that area. And that might be a little small. But if I go into another area, I don't know that many cities. If anyone has an area that they would like to share, here we go. We can come in and pull attributes for just that small area. Another thing that you can do, if you're kind of looking around, if I zoom out a little bit, in our map, you will see that you can pop over into other towns as well. So I'm in the Carlsbad area here, and I can look at neighborhoods and I can pull the trade area data for that area as well. So you do have the ability to come in. There's a lot you can do to access other market areas as well. And then we have our ScriptWriter tool right to the top. All right, so how do you guys feel about what we covered so far? Reach out to me in the chat or the Q&A. All right, one thing I want to do, I do want to share the mobile app with you guys, but I do want to show one more other way that you can use this trade area data. And I'm going to go to the home page in RPR. And then under research, I'm going to go into the commercial site selection. Are you guys familiar with the commercial site selection in RPR at all? Let me know through that chat. What you're doing is you're looking at the demographic data, right? So let me actually go, before we start this, let me back up and I'm going to go to the reports on our RPR navigation bar. And I want to pull up my reports. I'm going to pull up the report that we just created for the trade area for San Diego. So I have my report pulled up. I'm going to go ahead and just copy that link and I'm going to paste it into my browser so I can pull the report up. I'm actually just going to try to almost build a consumer profile in my mind based off of this data. So I want to look and see preferred activities. Okay, so we have yoga, Pilates, skiing. They like to buy natural environmental products. They like new clothes. Okay, so I'm going to go into my RPR homepage and I'm going to go to research and I'm going to go to my commercial site selection. And I'm going to use the scenario that I have a client and they are looking to open a natural, organic pet food supply shop, right? And they are open to searching in San Diego. And I really want to find out where the consumer meets that ideal of these are people that are going to have pets and spend money on their pets and have disposable income, that are going to be interested in shopping in this type of store, right? So I'm going to come into my commercial site selection and I'm going to identify the right people for a business model. So I'm going to search San Diego, California. Now, if you are really looking for like North San Diego, I do have the ability to come into the map. And if I zoom out a little bit and is that, did I just see Del Mar? That cracks me up. Okay, so I'm going to come in and here's San Diego, right? So really quick, I'm going to go to geographies and I'm going to layer San Diego. Okay, so I'm going to come in and then kind of zoom in and I'm going to draw a shape. I'm just going to do a polygon and I'm going to kind of come in and say, hey, we're looking um, anywhere kind of in this area here, North San Diego. So this trade area. And then I'm going to come down and think about who my ideal clientele is. The first attribute I can choose from is who they are: household size, income, net worth, financial assets, marital status, age, gender. I can search within consumer segmentation. I don't really know these, but you can click on these and click on the little information icon to learn more about them. But I'm going to come in and say, hey, I want to find out, based off of this area, where the highest disposable incomes are. So I want to find people with money to spend. I also want to go to who they are, because I don't want, maybe um, people, I want to find maybe people in the younger age, right? Because sometimes I think, and don't hold this against me, but if you're a little bit older, um, you may be a stickler in how much money you want to spend on your pets. So I want to find people with high disposable income, that are probably in their 20s, 30s, or 40s. Now, you can select multiple, and I actually want early adulthood. So I'm going to select early adulthood. That's deemed 20 to 39. You can do middle aged if you want. You have seniors. So I'm going to do early adulthood as an attribute. You can have up to 5 attributes at one time. We have what they do, and you can select industry or employment. I really like this, especially if you're looking to open something that's maybe like a daycare facility, and it could be a doggy daycare, right? It could be a child's daycare, but you're looking to find market areas that still have a core of the population that they leave their home for work, right? So they're going to be driving, or going outside of the home. So you can come in. Usually, if it's like professional, Um, they're they're still really work at home, but maybe you're like, oh, healthcare and social services, they're out, they're on the road, they work odd hours, they may be looking to put their pets in doggy daycare. So you can do what they do. We have where they live if you're looking for a certain type of metro center. You have what they buy, right? So I can come in retail goods, beverage type, dining out, um, entertainment and recreation, food, healthcare, household services, miscellaneous expenses, personal care, transportation, travel. So I'm going to come in and what they buy under entertainment and recreation. If I can get my screen the right way here, we have all entertainment, tickets to movies, sporting events, audio, pets. I want people that spend their money on pet services. You have recreational vehicles, sport and recreation. And I'm going to add one more. And I can go to what they buy, and then we have dining out, um, food. So if I go into food, you'll see the breakdown of foods that they have. You can go into household goods. You can go into household services, right? But I want to find people that spend money on travel. So I'm going to come in and just overall spend money on travel. That's going to help my doggy daycare. And then I'm going to run my analysis. So I want people, high money, have pets, travel. And here are those pockets within my area. Now I can scroll down, and I do have the ability to come in and I can select certain areas, and I can run a property search for listings, but you can also come in, and if I'm looking in these pockets, I can search for listings, or I can view the trade area details. Here's Carmel Valley. And I'm going to see high disposable income, percentage of people in early adulthood, what they spend on pet services and travel. And then you'll see here, you can view the trade area details and you can search for properties. So that is another way that you can go in, um, and find those consumers. And again, I can scroll down to that consumer segmentation and look at that profile. So that is the um, site selection. And then from site selection, finding that trade area and that script writer. Okay, now and this is going to be um, a little convoluted, guys, and I do apologize. But um, really quickly, I'm going to try to share my screen. Now, when I share my screen, I lose the ability to see the chat. So I'm just going to mirror my screen, and I think when I mirror, my screen. You guys are seeing black and I can't. There we go. Okay. So right now, this is my mobile device, and I'm just going very quickly. Give me a yay or a nay in the chat that you can see this. And I'm going to, if I can pull it down, stop the share really quick just to make sure you guys can see it. Oh, there's my PowerPoint from my previous class. So just let me know through the chat. Now you're looking at my blank screen. Give me a yay or a nay that you saw that mobile app. Did you see that? Let me go into my share. I'm going to make sure I'm sharing the desktop. And I'm going to share that again. And then let me know through the chat, guys, if you can see my screen. You should be able to see it. And then from here, I am going to go into my RPR mobile app. Now, I live in the Tampa Bay area of Florida. So I am just going to go to my search and I'm going to go into, at the top, I clicked that commercial property search and I'm going to search San Diego, California. And it will refresh. And now it's going to load those properties. And then I have my filters here where I can come in and search for properties that are available for sale. I'm looking for retail space. I'm looking for active listings. I want a max price of $750,000. And I'm just trying to narrow down to like a small number of properties. Okay, where it's going to go ahead and come in and I have my property details and I can select from the map view and I can also pull up and select from a list view as well. And then if there is a place that I'm interested in, of course, you do have the ability to click on it. And then you can kind of scroll through and we have in the property detail, view trade area information, which is going to pull up the trade area for the zip code that the property is located in. I can go in and create a trade area report. And then I can go into, I can title it, and then I do have the ability to create that report. But you'll see to the bottom right-hand side, I have that little circle that says AI. And then here is my ScriptWriter tool for commercial, where I can grab my ScriptWriter. Another thing I really like about this, you can, when you're looking at a active for sale property, you'll also see to the bottom right-hand side of the property detail, I have an AI button, and this allows you to choose a tone. You can choose an audience. and you can generate property insights. So this is actually going to pull the photo and it gives you a little summary of the property detail. And I love that because you can come in and just grab that if you wanted to share this through text message. You can send it to someone via text message. If you wanted to send it to social media with a copy of the photo, you get a really nice description of the property in a really nice kind of post format that's really easy to use. So I do like that you can come in and draft some property insights for commercial properties as well. And that's just pulling up an active property and clicking the AI tool that's under that property detail. Um, and then that's it. So I just wanted to really quickly pull up my mobile and show you where you could find those brief tools on the mobile device. So I'm going to ask really quickly before I let you guys go, do you have any questions on any of our RPR commercial script writer tools or any other tools that we may have? Remember, this webinar for RPR Commercial Scriptwriter was brought to you on behalf of the North San Diego County Realtors, and they did record it for you. So reach out to them if you want to share any insight. And with that, hopefully we will see you on a future webinar. Thanks for joining, everyone. Bye-bye.